It's all right. It's
Oh,
all
I'm
right.
so excited to talk cards. All I've talked is work over the past like 8 days in a row, man. Let's talk some cards, bro.
All right.
Let's talk some cards.
All right. Oh wow, what is that accent? You're not.
I have no idea.
You're
It's
not
bad.
from. You're not. You're from California, not New England. You don't get to. You don't get to. Don't.
Okay.
That's not.
Yeah.
No.
That was bad.
That was
Okay.
bad. That was bad.
Yeah, it was bad. It's meant to be bad.
All right, welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, gamers of all ages. It's episode 34 of the On the Button podcast. Welcome in. My name's Wes, here with my boys Ian and Trey. Ian, how's life been treating you lately, my friend? You talked like it's just been work all the time.
Yeah. No, it's just busy. The store's really picking up. We're making a lot of money. It's interesting. I'm up 10%, but I'm still not making my targets. It's very interesting. I'm working my butt off though, man.
Did they make it worth your while to work this hard?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I've only been at the store for about a year. I can bonus 11% of my annual salary every quarter by making sales targets. So it's totally worth it for me to work really hard.
Wow.
I'm still struggling a little bit with staffing. I hired some new people, and some of them are good, some of them are bad, right? Like we're figuring it out, right? We're figuring it out. But yeah, so we're finally starting to see the fruits of my hard year come to fruition. Like last week we were up like.
Does it get easier? Do you get to slack off at some point, or like do you just move you to
it just
something
means
else
I have
hard?
to work harder. No, it just means I have to work harder. I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying at that store until they either close it or give me a new one. So I'm working really hard to get a new one. But I must be doing something right because this Tuesday I get 2 new HVAC units in my building.
The things that excite you when you're a grown-up, people.
Yeah.
I'll say this
Right
though.
now we have a unit in the back of the store that doesn't work, and we have the grooming salon unit that kind of works, and then we have a unit that does the back room, the office, and like the area that we keep our animals, like our sick animals.
Yeah.
That AC has never worked.
What?
In 15 years, I'm being told, and it's getting replaced.
Wow. Finally.
Yeah, super excited.
I gotta say
Nice.
though, when you say you're starting to see your hard work pay off, that's a great feeling. Like when you go into a job with a vision and a plan, and you got to build the team, and like when you finally start to see it gel, it just there's almost no other feeling in the world like that. That just feels so good.
Yeah,
I'm excited for you. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Thanks.
Trey, what about you? How's life treating you?
Well, it was a pretty good weekend. I get to watch a real fun Formula One race this morning, and just
Which one?
Just
Which F1 race was today?
Today was Spain,
Okay.
and it was kind of exciting. A new team that hasn't won at all this year won, and
Nice.
so Lewis Hamilton got his first win at Ferrari. So it was a fun watch.
Okay.
It was
Cool.
it was one of those races that was like interesting, not because the people were battling on track. Like sometimes you'll see a race that'll be like 2 people like right neck and neck, and they're trying to pass each other back and forth. This one was more like a kind of a connoisseur of F1 because you saw 2 different strategies where like one team had one strategy and another team had a completely different strategy, and they were nowhere near each other for the whole race. And then at the end, the idea was at the end they were going to converge and see which strategy worked the best. And so it worked out right up until the end, and then some stuff happened that kind of made it all that heavily tilted it in the winner's favor. So, but it was a really interesting race to watch. I enjoyed it. I had a good time.
What about, have you been watching any World Cup? Like that literally just started a few days ago. That's a big thing.
I have. I am an event person, so
Okay.
I'm not a soccer person. I don't really. I like the Welcome to Wrexham. There's a TV show about Ryan Reynolds and Gohaney buying that. I enjoy that show. I don't really watch soccer or follow soccer all that much, but I do enjoy big events. And this one is in the U.S. It's on TV all the time, and so I'm sitting here. I'm watching it, and when I watch it, I try to understand what I'm watching. So I've learned a lot of the rules and kind of to be. I'm not an expert or anything, but I can follow along and see what this team is trying to do and how it's trying to go. And I don't know, it's fun to watch. I enjoy being part of the event bit of it. So
Nice. Nice. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it hasn't been too exciting over here, really. Work has been a pain in my butt for the last couple of weeks. We're right in this weird transition on this project I'm working on, which is in offshore Angola, so it's West Africa. And we're in the middle of trying to finish up the stuff we're working on, kick off about 2 new scopes of work that the client has come to us with, as well as a third that's related to this that another client has come to us with. It's all intertwined, and we're trying to execute all this with the same people. So we're trying to write 3 different schedules and piece them all together. It's a pain in my ass. We're going to get there, but it's just like, just beating your head against the wall to get it all together. And we've got an outfit in... my company was purchased not terribly long ago by a larger outfit that's headquartered somewhere in the Middle East, and they own all these little subsidiary companies, and one of them is based in Luanda, the capital of Angola, and we're trying to coordinate with them, and what can they help us do, and all these kinds of things. So it's a learning experience. It's fun. It's in that sense. I love tackling the learning side of those jobs when they appear, but the administrative and bureaucratic tedium makes me crazy. The engineer side of me still revolts at all the paperwork I have to generate just to manage a project, not to execute the project. Like the paper you push to work a project makes sense, right? Drawings and P&IDs and all this other stuff like that's part of being an engineer. But the schedules and the plans and the execution strategies and all this, it's like, oh, my head hurts.
The bribes?
Yeah, no, I'm on camera. That's not a thing. I actually know this is one of those. Now, this is no shit stories. Years ago, I joined a company not long after they had gotten slapped by the DOJ for being involved in. They had hired a freight forwarder in a foreign company who had then subsequently slid money under the table or whatever to jump the queue somewhere. And if the way the laws in the US are written, if your representative does that on your behalf, you're liable. And so as a result, we had to sit through all of these ethics trainings and all this stuff. I could tell you stories for days about how ridiculous some of that stuff is.
All right.
Well, guys, let's talk some SWU, because it has been an interesting 2 weeks. When last we met, we were in the middle of spoiler season. We were getting our little dribs and drabs, every other day we'd get a leader, and then every day we'd get, 2 to 3 new cards from some awesome content creator. And then
planned release schedule.
Yeah, the planned release schedule. And then about 10-ish days ago, suddenly FFG was like, so guys, you might remember that thing that happened last year where the entire set got leaked by some unscrupulous people. Well, guess what? It happened again. So here's the whole set. Enjoy. And they just had to spoil the whole shebang. So suddenly we got inundated with the last 100 whatever cards it was, and now for the last 10 days, the entirety of Ashes of the Empire has been available for public viewing. And so, I mean, this feels like a problem to me now. Once is a oops, our bad. Twice, what's going on?
It would be one thing if it happened before like a PQ season, but this is twice before their biggest event.
But this is the one people are incentivized to cheat at the most.
Exactly. That's why it's happening, right? That's the
why it's happening.
Yeah.
It's just crazy to me. Like you would think like last year they learned something or anything. I just don't know.
Nope. They don't.
So
this
I'm
is
new
what
to
happens.
This, okay.
This is what happens when you make the choices they make. This is what happens.
So, does this happen with other TCGs where lists get spilled before like a big event?
No, not the ones that I've been involved with. The ones that I've been involved with, they take their play testing seriously. They don't farm out all of the private information. They don't farm it out to barely scrutinized people and then just say, please don't share this. They do all of that stuff in-house. They do their playtesting in-house. They keep everything in-house. So there have been leaks before. Like Magic has had leaks, but it always comes from like the printer side. Somebody will get a hold of a pack from the printer.
Yeah,
like an uncut sheet and take
that kind of thing.
Or they'll still somebody stole a box off the line. That has happened before, but the method that's happening here, this is FFG's cheap out on their on their playtesting, this is what you get. And so we just need to expect this going forward. This is going to happen when the stakes are high enough. Well, let me rephrase this. I think that this happens every time. I think this is just how it works. You have playtesters that are not incentivized to not do this, and they release it. They tell their friends. They show the cards to their friends, and I think it comes out like that. I think they release something now because this is where the stakes are higher. So I'm pretty sure, I'm just assuming, but I'm pretty sure that the exact same thing happened with Lawless Time, but there was no big event with lots of money on the line, so they didn't bother to release it early because it wasn't that big a deal. Now it's a big deal, so they're just releasing it early.
This is sadly becoming an annual tradition, right?
Yeah.
To answer your question, Ian, I have been okay. So let's recap, right? We've talked before. We've ragged a little bit before on the podcast about how they handled their playtesters, right? The way that Trey talks about it. The playtesters are all remote. It's done.
It sounds terrible.
Well, okay, hold on. Now let me finish my thought because I have done this. Okay, I have been a remote playtester before for at least 2 different Decipher games. The original Star Wars CCG back in the late 90s when I was in college. And then again, not just a few years later for their Lord of the Rings TCG. I've done playtesting for both games. Now, there's some key differences, right? One is, if there were leaks, I wasn't aware of it, okay? Now, that's not to say they didn't happen, but I didn't know. There were people who knew we were playtesters and would ask us stuff, and we would always say, look, I can't tell you other than we really like the set, like it's looking really good, or there's some really good stuff in it if you like these kinds of mechanics or whatever. Like you could, that's about as generic as I would get for me. Now in the late 90s, it was a different world because you didn't get digital versions of things. I still have FedEx envelopes downstairs of my old paper copy playtesting cards that I got from Decipher guys back in the day. So by the time, early 2002, 2003 that I was doing for Lord of the Rings, we were getting like emails with that stuff in it. So it was, even then things had changed. But the big thing, and you said it, and Trey hit on it, and all of those games, even though they had big championship events, there was not a set release this close to one of those big events. So there was no need. Like,
I think it's kind of a cool idea.
I'm trying to think. I don't remember the release schedules because the release schedules for all these games moved around a little bit. But like in general, they would not release a brand new set and then a week later say it's legal for the next World Championship. Have fun. And so I think that is Trey said it, that's what's driving this action. Like as long as you continue to have the two things this close together, there is incentive. There is a desire for the players to look for any advantage they can get. And as irritated as I am with the kind of this is going to sound meaner than I mean it to be, like the competitive team mentality that drives this thought, and I don't blame them for it. They're not the ones that control the schedule. Like, I'll be honest, if you want this to never happen again, start releasing the set in late June.
So I got a conspiracy theory for you.
Bring it on.
If you were a company that released 3 sets a year and wanted to every 4 months and wanted to shift the schedule so that you could release 4 sets a year every 3 months, and you wanted to use that something to back your schedule up, and you needed to throw your hands up and be like, well, we tried to do the 4 sets or the 3 sets. Now we have to back up the schedule. How would you go about doing it so that you didn't look like the bad guy?
I don't know.
This seems like a pretty useful way to be like, sorry guys, we tried to have this cool thing where we had a release and then of this cards, and then everybody got a month to screw with them, or 3 weeks to screw with them, and then we had a big event with them, but we just can't because because people keep screwing it up. Sorry, we have to back it up time.
I have long ascribed to the never subscribe to malice what can be subscribed to ignorance kind of theory. And that's kind of where I'm at. Like, I don't feel like this is FFG playing Machiavelli in the background, right? I think you've nailed it. Ian's nailed it. This is somebody on the playtest team leaking stuff to their friends so they can all get ready to try to get a leg up on the GC. So, okay, I don't have to like it, but I understand the mentality behind it, right? I certainly don't like it as a player and as a content creator because they're hosing people right? Not the least of which is FFG, who has gone to the pain and effort of putting out this, planning this whole schedule of them releasing things and then have to scramble at the end now 2 years in a row. Now, my frustration, go ahead.
Well, it sucks because, like as a card spoilings view, just to say real quick, it sucks because now we get like showcases and the serialized cards, the stuff that like you kind of is more fun to see if somebody opens it during like a pre-release or something like that. So it kind of sucks that end.
Sorry, go ahead, Trey.
Well, I was just say, so if that's not it, then maybe we just quote one of Barack Obama's political advisors who said, never let a good crisis go to waste.
Never let a good crisis go to waste. The other thing is, there's a part of me that's frustrated that it's like, this is going to keep happening unless you punish people. They're violating an NDA, right? The only way that these guys are getting playtest cards in advance is they're signing some kind of non-disclosure agreement with a company that says, I won't do the thing that I just did. Mm-hmm. So, and I've had this argument and conversation with PC game companies that I have done work for in the past, right? You sit down, you join their content creation program, you sign an NDA, and as a result, they give you advanced looks at things. Sometimes they poll your opinion. They want the opinion of people who are plugged into the community. What do you guys think about this? You can't talk about this, but we want your input. And sometimes that stuff leaks to the public. And when that happens, and I've told them this, I've told other companies this, if you don't enforce your own NDA, it's not worth the paper you printed it on. You're wasting your time by making people sign it if you don't enforce it. And so,
or make changes to the structure so that people aren't incentivized to do this. If violating this NDA means you lose your livelihood and you lose your job because this is what you do professionally, then you're probably not going to do it.
And the thing of it is, right, as a player, as somebody impacted by some of this, there's that I want the righteousness of knowing that the guilty have been punished. But the reality is that from FFG's chair, they're never going to tell us that because if they go this route at all, it's legal proceedings and they have to keep silent and yada, yada, yada. So even if they do enforce their own NDA and let's say they go after somebody, let's just say they figure out who leaked the whole thing. To me, it's an easy case to go after them for some kind of financial damages. Okay. But they're never going to tell us that they did this. They can't talk about it, right? Their lawyers will literally tell them, say nothing until the case is over one way or the other. And we're never going to find out, at least not in a meaningful way.
We are finding out that they don't enforce it because it keeps happening.
Seemingly so.
If they enforced it, then the word would get out. Like whoever, we've already proven that somebody talks. Somebody talks, somebody says things. And if they all of a sudden, if something terrible happened to them, they would talk. And so, no, they're not enforcing it. They haven't come out and said, no, we're not enforcing this because they can't do that. But they can, by their actions, show us that they're not doing anything or taking the NDA seriously.
Fair point. Well, with all of that drama of how we got here, the full set is now available for us to look at and talk about. Yeah, Trey is rolling his eyes already.
For like 10 days.
What is that about? All right. Well, Ian is at least excited. Let's talk to Ian about this first then.
First of all, Cad Bane is an amazing leader.
He looks pretty good, don't he?
Free ping. Just a ping. Ping, ping, ping. Ping, 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 ping.
Yeah.
For no reason.
Yeah.
And I think Grief Karga is really cool. I've been playing him a lot with ambush cards. So fun. Get some really good value there. So I'm really liking a couple of the leaders. I'm working on a Cad Aura Twin Sons.
Look at you already cooking with Twin Sons with cards that don't even exist yet.
Kill. Ping, kill. Ping, kill. Sounds fun to me. And then card-wise, man, there are some... Man, I was just looking at... just playing matches on Carabass right now, if you're playing in, the new... I don't know, I guess there's an option you click that takes you out of whatever the legal premiere is and puts you in the next
Probably,
premiere. Yeah. If you're playing in that right now, some of these cards get played against you and you're like, wow, that's great. I got to go back and figure out how to make this work. Morok is disgusting.
Oh, Morok. Yeah. He's the one. He's
disgusting card.
He's 2/6.
3 costs.
3 costs. 2/6.
2/6 blue, red villainy.
He's a sentinel
aggressions
who changes to Saboteur if he's upgraded. You upgrade him and now he's not a sentinel, he's a sab. Right?
First of all,
Isn't that how it works?
Yes,
I think
100%.
that was one of the spoiled cards, like not spoiled to this leak. I think somebody had a preview of that card.
I'm pretty sure it was one of the last ones to actually get previewed. Yeah.
Because I've seen it before.
Yeah.
I have played against that a lot on some Cad Bane decks because a lot of people are playing Cad Bane right now. Red Blue Villainy did not need that great of a freaking card, man. Like that card is great.
It's a good card.
The card is amazing. Like every time you can drop it at like the right time. It really fits in. It's really fun. It's a really good card. I'm working with it myself right now. I think it's a great card. Holy crud. There's a new board flip combo in the game. I was Herod
with aggressive negotiations.
I was Herod aggressive negotiations.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, if FFG bans cards on feel, which they do, they ban cards on how they feel, not necessarily whether they're super overpowered.
They have done that.
That is the nastiest feeling you can get nailed with. You can hide it behind. I played somebody who hid it behind a Rex.
Okay. Oh, the 6 drop. The big Rex, the 7/7 Rex.
The big Rex.
Okay.
Yeah.
He
hid it behind a Rex, so I couldn't get to it.
Yep.
And I didn't have any removal in my hand. And then the next thing I know, what was going to be a close game became
a blowout.
I don't want to play with you anymore.
Yeah.
Like I'm taking my stuff and going home.
Let's go next. Yeah. I still think Ian's going to wind up on the ban list eventually. They just haven't figured it out yet. But it's the day's coming.
With Hera, it was like an 11-point swing. He hit me for 11 and healed for 11. It was just like
when you can.
Yeah, it's like you're making that face, Trey, but like that's what he did because he had flipped his leader. Like he used like it was a really good like he set it up really like I obviously wasn't expecting it, so he set it up really well. I can't remember the leader he was playing, but he flips out. He plays Rex. He flips out his leader. I can't remember, but it was pretty great. It's a lot of fun.
That story's riveting, Ian.
But when you can have a one card that generates a 22-point swing, how are they going to let that stand? How are they going to let that stand? I don't
It's
know.
rough.
I don't know.
It's rough.
I don't know.
Got to look for it.
What else you got, Ian? What else has caught your eye that you're like?
I mean,
you talked about
there's a bunch of cards.
Grief. What else?
Well, leader wise, those are the only two I'm really messing with right now. I think they're really fun.
Okay.
Other card wise though, like the new red leader with support.
That's a cool looking card.
Can attack. Oh man, I've had that played against me a bunch of times. It can attack. I didn't realize that it could attack the ground, or it allows you to attack either space or ground.
And when you play it passes that ability onto whatever it attacks.
Plays support. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So like it's been really interesting.
It's a really cool effect.
And even when it's like on the board, it's a really good card. It's a little expensive, but
for that ability, I hope so.
Yeah, it's pretty great. I mean, Chimera, the new Mando, a 4-cost 5/4 with shielded.
He's rude.
Where you could protect a unit is really great. I mean, there's so many cards. I could go on and on. Like, there's just so many cards. Like, I really like the set. I think there's going to be a lot of fun cards in the set.
Trey, have you spent any time looking at any of this yet?
So I will say that because I do the alternate art proxy cards, I've gone through the leaders.
Okay.
But I've not thought about them at all in terms of how they impact the game. Like I know Cadman does some damage. I know Bo-Katan has like a 10 on her. Like that's all I know. I know there's an Ezra, there's a Mandalorian.
Okay.
Like all I care about is just that it has text and do I want to make a proxy of it. But other than that, no. Okay. I haven't looked at the cards. I haven't looked at the spoiler because I don't have to. Because this is how you get people 1 week after the set releases going, now I'm bored.
Now I'm bored. Yeah.
Because they've been doing it so long. So all of this cascades from FFG's inability to control their release schedule. But personally, I'm not having anything riding on this. I don't need to build decks for Las Vegas. I am actually going to Las Vegas, but not for this. So I don't care. And I want to have a better experience at the pre-release, so I don't have to do this, and so I'm not gonna.
Well, and I'll be honest, I am going to Vegas, right? And I will probably play in the last chance qualifier just because until they prove to me that they know how they're going to run side events and not hose it up like they did last year, I don't want to bank my day one on side events being the way to go. So I'll probably build something constructed and go play in the LCQ. Will it be good? Will it be bad? I don't have a clue, but I'll probably do something. Um, I really like. I like the look of. I'm a filthy Imperial, so my eye is automatically drawn to any Imperial villainy stuff we get. I like the look of Gideon. I think that's an interesting mechanic.
Yeah.
The thing that sticks out to me with Gideon is the keywords they left off of him, right? There's no raid and no restore on that unit. He can't take advantage of any of that. To me, that means you're going to see him angled into specific colors kind of by default. I may be crazy on this one, and I'm willing to be wrong. I want to be wrong, but I'm afraid that there's going to be colors that don't work with him kind of as a result of that. We'll see. I really like, you talked about Cad Bane. Aggression villainy. I really like just Vayne, the other aggression villainy leader in the set. We haven't seen a lot of
base, right?
We haven't seen a lot of direct damage abilities, and Vayne's ability to take advantage tokens and throw them at your opponent, like each one becomes a daring raid to use his action, is kind of cool. I think I like the idea of that, and it doesn't have to just be advantage tokens. It's just any friendly upgrade that you control, right? Maybe you get down to where you're only a few damage away from being from lethal, and you can claim during the regroup phase, Shadow of Stygian Prime deals damage, and on your first action the next round, you don't even have to attack them. You could have a completely empty board. You could sack one of your own upgrades for those last 2 damage. Like, there's mathematically ways it could possibly occur. So I look at that and think that's an interesting mechanic. I like the idea of that. New Thrawn is going to be rude. That card is just, the card's really, really good. Like, there's going to be.
Oh, I remember that Thrawn exists. Yeah. I know he's in there.
The leader. The Thrawn leader. The Thrawn leader is, so on his front side, as an action, you tap him and you choose a unit and it attacks and it gains Restore 2 for that attack as long as you control the same number of units as the defending player. But the mean part is on his flip side. He flips on 8, so he's not fast. He's a 5/8 with Restore 2, kind of like the old Krennic was, right? But then on attack, if you control more units than your opponent, you can just defeat one of their units that you don't like. You just point at it and say,
is it
non-leader. Non-leader.
He's Avenger.
He is Avenger on his flip side, essentially. Yes.
Yeah. That's nice.
It's mean. And the control play, you could just see the control players just salivating at this card, right? So, I mean, he's going to be rude. It's going to be interesting to see folks cook with him. I really like the support mechanic. I like the idea of it. I haven't put it on the table. I haven't played any games with this stuff. But I look at a card. 2 things have really drawn my eye line back towards Cassian out of Secrets of Power. Trey, you and I have talked about this Cassian before. I played him in Milwaukee in the limited event. And the support mechanic I find really interesting with Cassian because it allows you to build your board and attack. So you get that action compression that he needs. And on top of that, they printed this new red hero Grogu that when you claim initiative, you get to attack with a unit. So the ability the initiative token, you mix all of that together with cards like Zeton Maj, who rewards you with base damage for claiming initiative. And now it's like, ooh, this starts to get really interesting. So I'm 100% going to cook with that at some point because red, white, blue with that Cassian leader is something that I really, really, really want to try. It might be hot garbage, and I don't care. I'm going to build it anyway because I want to try it out. 3 of my new favorite cards are all villain saboteurs. One of them is a dirt cheap 1-cost common card. It's the TIE Striker in Red Villain. 2/1 Saboteur. And I saw that card and went, hallelujah, Kylo 2 and Eternal. Let's go. And then the new Fennec Shand, the unit in Yellow Villain, is 3/3 Ambush Saboteur. I love that card. That's a card that I look at that the Jabba out of Lawless really loves the ability. She can come in, ambush a droid laser turret, get rid of it, and then you can pay an extra and pick her back up and have her around to do shenanigans again. I was like, that could be fun.
Is she 3 or 4?
She's a 3-call. She's a 3-drop. She's a 3-drop 3/3.
It's pretty good.
And then the last one is also in Villain Yellow. It's the Emperor's Champion, who's a 3/5 shielded saboteur which is an odd combo, but I absolutely love it. I'm just like, this is an interesting card. So I love all of those. It feels to me like Villain Saboteur has really kind of fallen off the cliff, and I'm glad to see some of those come back. So Ian, you said, I forget if it was before the stream or while we were casting, you said this feels like a really good set. I'm inclined to agree with you. I just look at the set as a whole, and I think there's a lot of really interesting stuff to unpack in here. I see cards that make me want to look at old leaders. I see cards that I immediately go, oh yeah, this absolutely works with some new leader in this set. Like I could cook in red, yellow villain with Vayne as a leader using advantage tokens as an example, like that kind of thing.
There's a lot of cards that with just really good, just base value too, like the Poe unit, 2 cost 3/3. No unit can have Sentinel.
Yeah,
like, that's just a good unit.
That's
that's
a solid card.
2 cost 3/3 with an ability is like just a solid card. So like, there's just a lot of good, solid baseline numbers. Like, just really good quality cards that have really great abilities and support. I mean, I have no idea how great that's going to work, but it's really fun. It's really cool. I spent 5 or 6 days trying to make that Palp blue deck work.
Oh, your new Palpatine leader you're so in love with. Yeah.
I was so in love with. That ability is garbage.
This is the one where he hands out advantage tokens or something, right?
So the way it works is, if you can get it to work, it works really great, but it's really hard. You have to have 2 exhausted units or 2 units on the board, one of them exhausted.
Okay.
And then you can hand out an exhausted unit a
advantage token
for the equal to the number of other units on the board. So
okay, so he wants to go wide. He wants to go wide,
right?
Okay.
And my thought was, with Darth Treya, I could reset it, right? You're resetting it.
I could see it.
The problem is it's just like when I used to play Leia. Just keep me with 1 unit on the board, and I can never use my ability. I was playing with somebody, and we were typing back and forth, and he's like, man, I kind of feel bad for you. Like, you haven't used your leader ability 1 time. Like, he's like, Palp is such garbage. And we start going back and forth, and I'm like, I've been trying to make this work for like 4 days. Like, I just don't think this is a very good.
Did you use support? Did you use the support mechanic?
Yeah, I was using, I was using his little 0 cost support card.
The messenger, the Emperor's messenger or whatever.
Okay. I was using Elsbeth, and then there was 2 other I was using. So I was using multiple support cards to try to get it to work. But like, it's just, I don't know. It's interesting. Like, I just can't figure it out. I don't think it's that great. But
if I was
trying, I guess
if I was to try and cook on that deck, I don't think I would do it in blue. I think I would do it in green, and try to really go crazy wide with like tokens. Like you'd start with like the Kijimi Patrollers, you play crap like Scramble Fighters, and would it be good? Probably not, but that's where my head immediately jumps to. So
yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's fantastic.
Probably not.
I might make it use like all support all the time, so that you have something, and then just use the advantage token so that it trades up, so that when they attack it, so that if they try to kill your dudes, when they attack into it, your guys are bigger, because it gets those when on defense, right? With the advantage token.
What do you mean? Gets the advantage token is there and it counts on defense, but then if they attack into the advantage token,
you attack with the unit.
No, you lose it if you lose it even if they attack into it, it fires off and you lose it.
I don't know. I wasn't able to hand out enough of them in a 3-day period to really know the answer to that question.
Advantage tokens sit on a unit, and if your opponent attacks that unit, then the advantage token does its thing and then goes away. Right.
I really wanted it to be like a Sith archetype, because I really wanted to make a Sith deck.
Yeah.
Like, I've really been wanting to make a Sith deck. But I just couldn't. I can't get it to work with him. It can't be Sith. But that new Vader, just straight black villainy.
That card's great. That card's great. I love that one. I love that one. Cool. Well, looking at current stuff, right? We played in a very, very cool local event that our local TO put on last week, where basically he said, we're going to run a little local tournament, $5 entry, right? But you can't play these leaders. And he gave us a published list. It was like 12 or 14. It was all leaders that had essentially from this most recent set that had in either like top 8 at a PQ or 1 of PQ. And it was a pretty good list, Boba and Lando and all these guys that you're used to seeing, even all the way down to cards like Dedra, who were maybe not as common, but had performed well enough to make it onto that chart. He was like, none of that.
JTL Lando. JTL Lando was on the
JTL Lando. So essentially, it was guys, go cook something, but you can't use these leaders. So Ian, what'd you play, buddy? What'd you try?
I played Revan Blue.
Okay, you went all the way back to Legends of the Force then.
Yeah. Well, I had my Talzin deck. Sorry, there's a fly flying around my face. I think I just ate him. Anyways, I was taking apart my Talzin deck, and I decided I wanted to try Revan Blue.
Okay.
Try like a Voltron style deck where I just played a bunch of weenie units with weenie upgrades to try to do a bunch of damage real quick, and then try to play there is only 2 on turn 4, so that they're like even bigger and beefier.
Okay.
So I played a lot of I don't know, Sith characters.
There are a handful that are cheap.
Yeah. I was in every game, but I went 1 and 2, I think. 1 and 2.
Okay.
I got run over by Michael so bad in the first game. I didn't do 1 damage to his base. He went to sideboard, and I was like, bro, if you sideboard, we're not playing another game. I was like, I'm just going to sit here, take another whooping, and I'm going home. I got a Twin Sons game because I got my butt whipped so fast.
That's true. You guys did get some TS in there at the end. Trey, what did you bring to that event? If memory serves, you won the event, yes?
I did. I went 3-0. Actually, I didn't just go 3-0. It was a best of 3. And even though I had no sideboard, I went 6-0 on all the games. And I didn't drop a single game.
Okay.
So at the beginning of this set, you and I had a conversation. We all had a conversation, but you and I were talking about old leaders that might be interesting in with the new set. And one of the ones that we talked about was Rio.
Pilot Rio.
And so Pilot Rio. So I went and built Pilot Rio at the time, and I tweaked it and worked on it, played it. It's a Pilot Rio Blue, and I don't know. I had a lot of fun with it, but it never panned out as something that was going to win at a competitive level. So eventually I kind of like, all right, well, that was nice, and then I moved on. So this was my opportunity to bring that back and put it in a table where it wasn't going to be 1 or 2 actions behind whatever it played necessarily, because it was it was playing against other handicap leaders, and it worked. It turns out if you make in this format, generally, except for the tree remembers, if you make a leader unit that is like 8-15, nobody's touching it.
Good luck with that.
Nobody played Tree Remembers on me one time. Most of and it was pretty entertaining because the deck that I have it's mostly space, but it's got enough ground vehicles that it can work on the ground.
Good, man.
Yeah.
And so I would just play, and I didn't even realize I was doing this, but I would at the time I would play like a game 1. I would play in space, and then I would flip Rio on it, and then they would just stare at it blankly at this giant hammer that they couldn't do anything about, punching them in the face until they died. And then they would go sideboard all of their stuff, and they would bring in, and then they would be loaded for bear to stop the
space arena.
And then I play like a pod racer, and they're like, "What the?" And then I would play a 1/7 trawler,
the sand crawler, the
sand crawler. Yes. And they would be like, and then I would flip Rio onto it, and I would put mastery on that, and then I would put the ion cannon on it, and it would literally be like 8-15, and then they would just be like,
when you flip Rio on that stupid. Go ahead.
I've been beat down by that sound crawler a lot this season.
When you flip him onto that sand crawler, becomes a 5/12, and it's like, have fun with that, kids.
Nothing else. Yeah.
That's a sneaky fun deck. I like it. I've played that deck a couple of times, just borrowed it from you. I think that's really fun. Rio is one of those. Because I own the showcase, right? It seems like every single set they put out new units, and I'm always like, where are the transports? Show me the transports. I'm finally going to make it work. I'm finally going to crack Rio. Let's go. And I can never get there. So I'm just glad somebody finally managed to do it and make it work. That makes me happy.
I mean, they had to cripple everything else for me to all of the good. Everything good had to be crippled, and now he's good.
We had to ruin everything else, but we got there in the end. But that's the thing about Rio, right? You talk about Tree Remembers, and as good a card as that is, there are so many. The deck, like, if you look at the list of 4-drop transports, it is insanely good. There are so many. Blue, straight black, you've got the stupid Krennic shuttle thing that's a 3/4 shielded. Like, that's an amazing
and steals
card
shields.
that steals things. You know, that's a great one to flip Rio onto, and they can't. Tree remembers that they have to. I mean, they can blank it, but they can't just outright murder it, right? It's not because it costs too much. So, I mean, Rio. I still always thought Rio was sneaky good, and I love watching you have some success with that one. I really wanted to play Dedra Yellow. I went out and bought the cards to build Dedra Yellow because I didn't own a single Shadow of Stygian Prime, for example.
Hey, Wes.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure Dedra was on the list you were not allowed to play.
Correct.
Okay,
and
just
so,
checking.
And so
I was like, did you cheat this whole tournament?
No, Dedra, you couldn't play Dedra. So I wanted to build Dedra Yellow, and then I looked at the list and went, well, crap, I can't play Dedra. So I ended up playing Sebulba instead, which was kind of my second choice for that style of deck. Somebody had built a Sebulba deck that had done like top 16 in the Prague Regional, I think. And so I dug that list up, took a look at it. I think I might have tweaked a couple of things and was like, this looks good. Let's just go play it. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I've never put these cards on the table in my life. Let's go have fun with it. The struggle I had with it was I played so much Kylo 2. You know, Sebulba is you exhaust him, you discard a card off the top of your deck, and you give something on the table, raid 1. Awesome. My problem was my brain kept thinking it was like Kylo, which was you exhaust him and you discard a card out of your hand and you buff it. And that's not how it works.
Terrible.
So I kept looking at cards in my hand thinking, I'm going to lose one of these when I use my leader. And I kept having to train myself not to do that. I think I went 2-1. And I ended up basically losing. I lost to Luna. She was on some kind of blue. I forget what it was. Oh, she built Barriss Ophi blue. And I lost that one in 3 games, and the second game, the hyperspace disaster basically ruined me because it's kind of a space weenie deck. The way that one functions, it's kind of like a Vader. It's got a lot of little cheap space units, and you sort of go really wide, and you just use Sebulba to make sure you can always have something to put raid onto, and you push a bunch of damage, and eventually you get there. I'm looking forward to. What I learned, the kind of the lesson that I took away from playing this deck is. Shadow of Stygian Prime is really good. That card feels like I've never seen anybody play it, and it just feels. I'm like, having played it now, I'm like, this card is amazing. Why is nobody playing this color combo to abuse this thing? This card's so good.
Because it's, I think it's because you have to divert from what you're doing to do it. It's good. It's very, very good in only some circumstances.
That's fair. But I managed to the last match of the day. It was it James with that crazy Dryden yellow thing with him flipping over cards off the top of his. I'm getting the name wrong.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. The gambling deck. Oh, yes. I love that deck.
He had I watching him play this deck was so much fun because he'd played Qui-Gon. And the yellow Sentinel Qui-Gon out of the last set and stack the top of his deck. And then he'd play As I Have Foreseen to do something cool with it. And the one time he played it blind on me. He played for his 4 resource round. He 1 cost. He plays As I Have Foreseen. No idea what he's going to come up with. And he flips over First Light. The green-black First Light, which is like the perfect play for him because he can now afford it, ambush, murder one of my space units, draw a card. I'm like, that is so cool. I was getting I got my face smashed invite, and I didn't care. It was so cool. So it was just like I loved seeing the creativity, and I don't know about you guys. I told Jason, our local TO at the end of the event, I said we need to do this more often. This needs to become part of our regular thing. We need to have at least 1 or 2 of these every set where we tell people, look, we're going to do a little local event and you can't play these leaders, whatever they are. Pick a list and you got to cook with something else. And I think that'd be a hell of fun. We had a great time.
Yeah, it was fun. I really enjoyed it. I mean, it helps that I won, but I also just really enjoyed seeing all the creativity in the decks.
I'm trying to think now. The Dryden Voss. There were 2 people playing Dryden because Michael was also playing Dryden Blue Force.
But he ran me over so hard.
Yeah. So we had 2 Drydens in the field. You were playing Rio. I was on Sebulba. Who else?
Somebody played Satine, I heard.
Yes, yeah. Zach played Satine. And I was like,
"Oh yeah, I did play against
about that."
How did that deck work? What was he even doing?
Oh, it just healed forever. I beat him. I had to hit him for like 65 damage to beat him. It was crazy.
That's insane.
It was bananas how much he healed.
That's awesome, though.
Just like
the official that count up your officials, and then that's how much you healed 4 times 2. Oh, he did that. It was like I heal 18.
So he was playing it with green then.
Yeah.
That's the Renowned Dignitaries. That card is bonkers in limited.
That's cool.
Oh, I didn't realize he had paired it with green. That's just rude. That's amazing.
It was quite good.
That's amazing. Anyways, guys, if you're looking for a local event, talk to your local TO and tell them you want to run something small and fun, and you want to put a ban list and say you can't play popular leaders that have won PQs and stuff, and just let everybody actually build with some crazy leaders. And man, I'm gonna tell you, it was some of the most fun we've had playing around here in a hot minute. It was really, really cool.
Yeah.
Guys, we're 6 weeks from Vegas. Can you believe it? It's almost that time. And I know, Ian, I'm looking at your pouty face. I know you're sad. I know you're sad. You were telling us the story last week at the tournament of you having the conversation with your boss. Like,
I tried everything, man. I tried everything.
Short of blackmail.
Yeah, basically, yeah. I mean, I'm super jealous that I won't be there to play cards, but I mean, we booked a trip like a month later. We're going for our anniversary.
Nice.
August 15th. We're going to Vegas.
Nice.
That's how much we wanted to go, and we were really excited to go. So we're just going.
Okay, good. I meant to tell you this at the tournament the other day, but I'm not kidding. Send me with a list of stuff you want off the prize wall or whatever, stuff that you would love.
Bro, I'll take anything. I have to rely on others.
Yeah, but my point is, you're going to have stuff.
Anything your tickets can grab.
All right, I just figured you'd have stuff that you'd prefer, because there's cards that you'll play more than others.
I've been there, so I understand that things just will disappear if they change rules or ticket buying becomes a thing or whatever. Like, there'll be times where it's like, and we are out of, and like the list goes on.
I know.
You're like,
we suffered last year.
Yeah, and like, I just don't. Maybe you don't have time to get tickets. Maybe you do well in like a tournament one day. Like, you just don't know what you're gonna do. So,
okay,
I'll show you some stuff that I'm interested in, but I'll take whatever I can get.
Okay.
Anything.
Trey, rumor mill says you're making it this year, though.
Yeah, I was pretty I was on the fence. Like, well, I bought the ticket originally. I was a Twitter and a flustered that I couldn't get the one I wanted, but I ended up buying it. And then they were like, and you can get your rooms, and it was like $400 a night for rooms. And I was like, no, I don't make that kind of money. And so then I tried to find somebody to stay with, and that ended up not working out. And so I was like, well, I guess I don't get to go. But then, fortunately, you helped me find KTOD had a block of rooms that was much more reasonable. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I booked over there. I mean, I'm not on site. I'm like a few minutes away, but I bought my ticket. I bought my room block, and now I'm ready to go. So I'm excited about going.
Outstanding.
Awesome, dude.
I'm looking forward to this. We're heading out.
Which one of you is going to handle the lines if they get out of control? You guys got this?
Nope. No. That was all you last year, buddy. That was all you last year.
For me this year.
Trey's
got it. He'll get it.
Nope. That's all you. I'm going to tell you, you did things last year that I would not have thought to do. Okay? Because it would never have occurred to me to go, this is going to sound meaner than I want it to go get in somebody's face and tell them that they sucked at their job and you needed to fix it. And if you don't, I will. That thought would never have crossed my mind.
It's a bad trait that I picked up from my dad.
Was it a bad trait? It made things happen and things got better. And think of just the group utility that you took all these people's weekends and made them better at the expense of one person's feelings who should have had their feelings hurt.
But what you didn't see is like my embarrassing moment when I'm like borderline screaming at this lady that she's ruining not only my time, but my friend's time, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're ruining this event. Like, what are we doing? Like, I see 15 people standing here and you have nobody organizing. I've been waiting in line for an hour. There's 12 people playing. You have 300 people in line. It just was that moment you didn't see, and that moment was embarrassing for me.
Okay.
You think if you'd have handled it better, you would have gotten the same results?
Probably not.
I tend to be very... not agreeable, but polite and nice about asking for stuff, and it does get me results. So I'm not, but the results are more important
polite
than
and nice.
Feelings.
What happened is polite and nice got me passed around to like 7 different people. That's what polite and nice. So by the time I finally talked to an event person, like, I don't know, like I've talked to my dad about this before, but he calls it blind fury. It's something that like his father passed to him and he's passed to me, and I don't have any kids, so I have nobody to pass it to, but you just go like, I can't explain it. Like I just become singular focused on fixing something, and it's so bad that like I have to fix it. and it starts to bother me inside. And when somebody tells me that like they're not going to fix it, then like I had to fix it. Like it's not good. I don't know.
So we could do a whole conversation about this. Say what?
I said it sounds like it worked, so I'm not. I don't see what the issue is.
It is difficult having been at that GC and seen the results. I can't argue with the results. Like Trey, my experience is generally I've found, when you're dealing with customer service folks, generally you get a lot more with a kind word than you do with yelling at them, right? And I've seen this. I've flown, I don't know how many 100,000 miles at this point in my life. I've spent a lot of time in airports in the States, overseas, and you see people screaming at gate agents, screaming at ticket agents for whatever's gone wrong. And usually the person you're screaming at didn't cause the problem and isn't empowered to fix it. So yelling at them is not going to get you what you want. But people, understandably lose their temper, they get irritated, and they just kind of vent at the first person that they run across.
It's not understandable. That's what happens, but that's what children do.
Okay, fair enough.
If you're going to be a grown-up, learn how to behave like a grown-up.
Fair enough. But the bottom line is they just vent. They vent at the first person that they find. So But that doesn't sound like what Ian did. Ian sounded like he was nice and polite until he ran out of patience, and it took a while. So that's eventually, not polite doesn't always get you there. Sometimes the squeaky wheel gets the grease, and you've got to be like, you have to still be under control. You still have to like when I lose my temper with an agent, I'd be like, look, I don't know you. You seem like you're a competent person, but I need you to understand how furious I am at your company. And if you take out the attacking them individually, that's a great way to put it. I say, like, I may raise my voice, but that's because I am so frustrated at your company. Right. So if you start that way, and then the times the polite doesn't work, that usually works. But it's very rare that I have to get that far.
It was a lead up of events too, because I didn't have all my tickets I wanted. Like it was just
the long string of things.
Lead up of the it just I mean, it's not my proudest moment in life, but I felt I helped.
You did help. That's a great way to think of it, Trey, because I've also gotten to a point where, you do reach a point, I think, where you have to be able to calmly express your extreme displeasure with the situation. Yeah. Right. And I'm with you. If it's like, you probably don't necessarily blow up at the first person you run into, but by the time you get past, you're on the fifth person in this chain of failure. And everyone gives you the same garbage excuse or can't help you or whatever. At that point, you're like, okay, guys, this is just silly now. And so now at that point, I'm beginning to understand kind of where you would. And I have been that way. I have done that professionally. I've never had that happen to me in travel, blessedly. But I've worked with equipment vendors where you're trying to buy this thing. Let's just say you're at an equipment test, and so they're testing it and something's not working, and they're giving you all these, and by the time you get the fourth or fifth excuse as to why something is not going, you're like, stop. I no longer care for your BS, right? I'm paying you to fix it. Go fix it, right? Just make it happen. That kind of thing. So I can sympathize.
I think it will be great though. I think this event's going to be really good. I think if the same people who did it last year and they can run it like Saturday and Sunday, they're going to do great. Fantastic.
I have high hopes because Fanfinity has been running the regionals in Europe, and they've done a really good job with it. The concerns that I have this year come into the fact that it feels like we've cobbled together a lot of different organizations to pull this off, right? Fanfinity is now running the whole thing, but they're contracting part of the staffing to Merchant Guild and part of the staffing to somebody else. And it's part of it's like Star City, but then, like Fanfinity is a European organization, so they can't pay people in the US. So everybody has to get paid through one of I'm like, you guys have got your
this sounds like a recipe for success, man.
You begin to see my point. Okay. So I'm looking at this going, fingers crossed, kids. Fingers crossed.
Your dead solid face when you said that was fantastic, bud. That was great. Thank you.
Yeah. For me, I'm like I said, we're going in a couple of days early. We're planning on taking Wednesday and Thursday just kind of locally to just hang out, sleep late, enjoy the pool, maybe find some touristy things to do. We did a little bit of that last time. We did it at the end of the trip. This time we're going to do it at the front of the trip. So I'm still waiting to hear back about a couple of panel ideas that I pitched. They sent an email around. I don't know. I feel like it was back in April. Might have been April. asking the various content creators to say, hey, if you guys have ideas for panels that you would love to run at the GC, here's a form. Come fill them out. Tell us what you would like to do, and then we will pick it. We will pick and let you know. Well, guys, it's the 14th of June, and we're still waiting to hear. So, like, I don't even know. But I pitched him a couple of panel ideas, essentially kind of basically how to stream the game for beginners, right? How to look around your house for stuff you probably already own to do this, and how to set it up, and it's not that complicated, and you can stream off your table at your local store. And then like another one, like if you want to take that game and up it and start streaming like competitive events, talking like PQs and stuff, there's some really awesome tools out there the community has got available for you, how to plug in with a judge staff and work with them and all that kind of stuff. So we'll see what happens. I'm hoping to hear back, because that would come with some fun things, but so far, niente. So we'll see what happens. Trey, last time we talked about your AI deck building experiment, and you have since played your AI constructed Twin Suns deck. I have to know, how did it go?
I don't think I won, but I did. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't the most horrible deck. Did I win? Yeah, you were there.
I think it's hard to tell. I think it played very well. I like the synergies that were happening in the deck. You were very targeted by Katie.
Oh yeah,
your units especially. Yeah. Like your units. Like I could tell, like you were trying to set up like the Grogu combos, but like Katie was saying no. The entire game. I thought, but you held. But what surprised me is that you held in there though, fairly well when under such duress. Because it really allowed, like, Wes and I, especially that game I played with Damien, allowed Damien and I to really set up some interesting plays and stuff with Katie's aggressiveness. So,
the game that I saw.
Yeah, go ahead, Wes.
I sat across from Trey. You weren't playing. That was the one that I played. You weren't there. So I think it was Damien and Katie we were playing with. It was the four of us. And Trey, you were playing. Your deck was Twilight Obi-Wan.
Yeah, the blue one that heals.
The blue one that heals, and then Grogu. The new Grogu out of the next set. That was your
one I got for going to see the Mandalorian.
Right. And in that particular game, now Ian, you didn't see this, but in that particular game, Katie just she attacked his base endlessly. She didn't really mess with his units.
Okay.
But she had like a space unit or two rolling around, and every single turn it felt like she was attacking his base. And I'm looking at her going, Did he piss you off? Like, what happened over there?
Yeah,
well, hold on. In Katie's defense, when every single person that we talk to about Twin Suns, just their rote answer is, you just attack Trey. Just kill Trey. You have to kill Trey.
That's fair.
Everything that you guys say on this podcast, which mimics what we hear at the table, Katie was just taking all of your advice. Okay. So I don't.
All right. So in that case,
at the time,
props to Katie for listening. Well done. Good job. Good on you.
It's interesting though, because I thought about some of it, and I was like, Trey really needs to like maybe lighten up on us a little bit when we play Premiere, because like we're rolling that into Twin Suns. I think Katie and I like I constantly get mollywopped by Trey in Premiere, regardless of how great I think my deck is or how great I think I'm going to play it. And sometimes I do carry that into Twin Suns for sure.
Now,
for sure.
Sitting across from you, Trey, the deck looked to be working decently well. You did find one flaw in it, at least while we were playing. One of the cards that your AI buddy had put in was Legends of the Force Luke Skywalker that requires the white one that requires a Force token to trigger his game text, and you were not playing a Force base.
Yes, that's correct. I had no way to get the Force, so that wasn't there. But as I told you, I don't know if I said it on the last podcast, but when I built the deck, so I'm going to give you a little bit about the deck, about my process. So I'm going to go ahead and say that if you just say AI build me a deck, even if you give it some prompts, it's going to be terrible.
It's going to be trash.
That's not what it's good for. AI is not going to do that. What AI is great for is for me and this computer to have a conversation back and forth about, I have this idea, go find me cards that match this idea. And then the person you're interacting with brings you all these cards, and you look at them and you go, all right, I see where it's working here. I say, we're going to cut these. Go find me some more cards. I want to add this aspect to I want to add some Sentinels to my deck. Go do that. And this iterative back and forth conversation is a great way to do this, because what AI is not going to do is miss cards that you would miss because you have blind spots from seeing them. So if you ask for, go get me every card that deals damage to a unit, it's going to find every single one of them. It's not going to miss the one that Ian loves to play that's deal damage and it has to attack a unit just because you've never played that before.
Right.
So it's really good at finding those cards that you just have forgotten but still somehow fit what you want. So going back and forth. Now, the cards that I ended up playing, so this is an 80 card deck, and 75 of the cards were cards that after going back and forth, the AI said, hey, what about these? And I said, that's good. The 5 remaining cards were me going, no, that one, that one, that one, that one, and suck, and I want these 5 in the deck.
Okay.
Put these 5 in the deck. One of those was Legends of the Force Loot. So that was not that was on me.
Human
So,
oh hell, that's funny.
Love it.
That's funny.
I mean, 4 cost 4/5 though. Like it's not like
it's not a bad unit. It's just that in that deck he has no way to gain the Force token, so the game it's a blank. It's just a blank card.
It's a vanilla, yeah.
Now you played the deck at least twice that night. Thoughts? Like it felt good. The synergies were what you wanted. Give me kind of the 10,000 foot summary.
I didn't find too terribly many issues with what Claude asked me to put into the deck. I found a lot of. I didn't find anything truly surprising that that Claude wanted to had done. That I was like, oh, I should have had a V8. Look at that. That was amazing. But he did an excellent job it did an excellent job of putting cards in that kind of worked well together and got me playing. I learned some stuff about my prompt about what I should be looking to put in the deck because I was great at flipping Grogu. And then everybody ignored Grogu, and he did absolutely nothing. Oh, like he just sat there doing nothing. So, like that night was an opera. I think this week is a Twin Suns week for us. So I think I'm going to go. Pretty sure it's Twin Suns week. So I'm going to go iterate on the deck. So it was a good opportunity. Playing that week was a good opportunity for me to see the things that work. So like now I'm going to find ways. I'm going to go back and strip it out and fix it. I might put a force base in and go with a force because I'm playing 2 force units leaders now. Yeah. So I may push it more of a force direction and find ways for Grogu to matter. So like do things with put upgrades on Grogu and then they kill Grogu and then I flip him back over. I don't know exactly what the answer is. I do having seen it go. It is the deck was not embarrassing.
Not at all.
There were some pieces of it that I thought this is not operating as efficiently as I want it to. This is not quite like flipping Grogu is not as good as I want it to be, and it's not. Grogu's ability in and of itself is the kind of the opposite of what I wish it would be. So Grogu's ability is when I attack you, your guy gets smaller, and when you attack me, my guy gets bigger. So when you try to kill my guys, they hit harder back, and when I try to kill your guys hit less hard in defense. And that's not like if you're looking for the matrix of guys going up and down and being attacked, like if you want to make that matrix, those are some of the weaker ones on it. So like me getting more health when you attack me, your guy getting a lower damage when you attack me is way more useful than me getting a higher damage when you attack me. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. So like Grogu's abilities are not as clean cut and not. I wanted Grogu to be what is the Electro Staff is the minus when it attacks.
That's a great card.
That's what I wanted Grogu to be on the Electro Staff on a leader unit, and that ended up not being that. But that's just because of the way Grogu works, and I had a misunderstanding of how Grogu works. Okay. So if I want to continue to work on this deck, I'm probably going to have to go tweak it some. But that's what Claude is for. Like Claude helped me build this deck. I put it together, and I've iterated. I've seen what I like, what I don't like, and now I can go back and I can then just sit in front of this. I can like you and I sitting on Discord. What do you think about this in the deck? I don't know. What do you think about this in the deck? Right. And then me saying, hey Wes, I want to put some upgrades in this deck. Which ones are the most effective upgrades that would go on Grogu and make him harder to kill? And then you would 2 seconds later spit out a list of cards. So that's what it is useful for. And I'm going to use it again probably tomorrow to revamp the deck.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
Sounds
awesome. Fun. I may not be there this week, guys, so you'll have to let me know how that goes.
Yeah, same. I'm up in the air too, unfortunately.
Okay, so the last thing we have on the notes for this evening, Ian, some kind of mysterious contest. You're going to have to catch us up. What's going on?
Okay, so I've been holding on to these for a contest.
Yes, okay.
Been holding on for these.
He's got his on the button
sleeves.
Okay.
I am having a really tough time making a Space Wizard deck for this set. Really struggling. Okay.
For which set?
I guess
Lawless Time.
The new one that's coming out.
Oh, new one.
Time,
Oh,
right?
no. The next set, Ashes of the Empire.
Ashes of the Empire.
Okay.
Ashes of the Empire.
Okay.
Right? Everybody's building new decks. We don't have the cards, but let's be honest. At least I'm building new decks.
Sure.
I'm really struggling, other than Mother Talzin and Obi, to find any sort of Force Leader or Force Mechanic. I guess I want to play Space Wizards. It's that simple. They can be good Space Wizards. They can be bad Space Wizards. But please, somebody's got to help me. I am struggling real bad, man. Struggling real bad. I'm getting crushed. So I'm asking fans to please help me make a deck.
Okay.
And this is also open to Trey and Wes, because they just found out about it right now too. Because I'm hoping they will help me too.
Do you want good Space Wizards or bad Space Wizards, or do you care?
I don't care.
I want them to twiddle their fingers and do magic.
Yep.
Do magic. I want to be able to play the Force mechanic. I played Talzin all last set, and I really don't want to play her another set, but if I have to, I guess I will. So far, she's been the only one I've been able to get to really work. I think Obi's... I don't know if Obi's going to make a comeback in this new set with Cad Bane. His value has dropped a little from what I've seen. Because I'm watching as many games. I'm totally all over Carabas right now. I'm watching as many games as I'm playing, to be honest.
Sometimes spectating Carabas is so much fun.
Sometimes I'm like, I'll
so
see
like
I'll see like a Cad Bane Kenobi matchup, and I'll be like, yeah, I want to see that. Let's see what cards they're playing, right?
I don't think I've ever had anybody actually spectate me either. Like, this is wild.
Well, you have no way to know if anybody's spectating you. You're not told.
Oh, okay.
You're not
told. Really? Okay, yeah, I don't.
You have no idea if anybody's watching. You're not told. I've literally thought about streaming the game and just going and literally just putting up a stream, and like all I do is spectate. Just go. Let's go watch. Right.
Just watch people.
Just go watch people. Let's just go watch.
Voyeurism.
Now, the trick is I don't want to do that for other reasons, but I've considered it in the past.
So Trey's going to give you or make up a email address to send the email to. I think that's where Trey is. I have no idea. Maybe he's
Space. Trey. Yeah, you're fine. Point down to the other way.
Down?
Point to your left.
Sorry?
Your left.
My left.
That's where Trey is. Trey's below you to the left.
Trey. Okay.
This should be easy. It should be Space Wizards at onthebutton.xyz.
Well, I said Trey.
Yeah,
all right. Thank you, Wes.
That should be your email address. Simple. Space Wizards at onthebutton.xyz.
I mean, I think Trey's a good stand-in for middle-aged white guy. That's all that matters. Just any answer from one of them.
So whoever can make the best deck that I love playing the most, or maybe is the most creative, I will send one of these. And if there's a second one that I really like, I will order a second one and get them to you.
Okay, so let's make sure. Let's lay some ground, some expectations here.
Yeah,
they have to. What you're going to get these submissions, and you're going to judge them. You're going to play them before you judge them.
Oh, I'm going to play the heck out of them.
Okay.
Oh, I'm going to play the heck out of them.
So then, I
got 2 weeks.
Okay,
the sooner you get it to me, the more I'll play it.
Okay, so you want to have this. You want to have this judged and ready to hand out a prize at the next episode. In 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think that's fair, right?
I agree with you. I'm making sure that everybody understands the timeline here.
2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, timeline. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And Space Wizards.
So
lots of Space Wizards.
If you want to participate in Ian's little shenanigans, all you have to do, send your deck list in to Space Wizards, put the S on it, at onthebutton.xyz. We'll get it to Ian, and he can try it out, and he will announce his winner in the next episode, and we will get that stuff shipped off. And then, Trey, I'm putting you on the spot a little bit to ask you this on camera, but you showed us those bases, right? Are we going to have some of those? Are we going to have some of those to give out in Vegas?
Do you? I mean, they're just Houston bases. But
I know.
Do you think that people would like those?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I know people in Houston would like them because they're cool.
You should make some Vegas ones for Vegas.
You could do that too. Here's the other thing you should consider. When you meet fans, okay, maybe this hasn't happened to you much. When you meet fans in the wild, okay, they're going to come up to you and they're going to want to shake your hand. They're going to talk to you. It is awesome if you have something fun to give them to remember the interaction. Okay, what I did last year for Vegas, I made little poker chips with my Sea Raptor logo on one side and a QR code on the other that took them to my various link tree with all of my links to all my stuff, right? And I just and you know, you can use that as a initiative token, a hand marker, you can throw it in the garbage, whatever, but here, right? And so I thought your cards are a great thing for us to have to pass out to podcast fans.
Oh, I thought about the divider thing for the.
That would also be good. However you want to do it. I just didn't know what your plans were. That's kind of why I'm asking. Yeah, the little Ian's got it on camera there again.
Yeah, I love these things. I got them in all my deck boxes.
Cool. All right. I love the card idea because they're super simple to hand out, right? To just, you can just leave those with people.
Have we mentioned what they are on the stream yet?
We have not. That's kind of why I said I'm putting you on the spot a little bit.
Okay. So I made some 30-point bases that are based on locations in Houston. So like you get I think downtown is green. Yeah, downtown is green. So the green base is just a picture of the Houston skyline. It's just downtown, and it's just a 30-point base. It works as well as any other 30-point base. And then we've got the NASA is blue. And Battleship Texas is red, and the Houston Astro, the juice box, the whatever it's called now, but it's called Minute Maid Park on the.
It's called Minute Maid Park on the card, but it hasn't been called Minute Maid Park in real life in a couple of years.
I don't care. That's all it's known. It's some refrigerator company can chuck a whatever, but the Minute Maid Park is the Astros, and I thought people would enjoy me making the Astros the cunning color.
I thought it was great. So those are great because you put the podcast logo on the back of them, and I was like, "That's genius, right?" Because then it's just a nice little fun souvenir. I'll tell you this: if you don't want to make those at all, I'll order some from you so that I can hand them out because I think that'd be cool. Those are just silly fun.
I mean, I'm glad you gave them.
That's fine.
I'm glad you gave Trey a free promo because I made a note. I wanted to ask you this at the end. What were the leaders that you made your art for?
Yeah, are you doing all of them this set?
You said you did certain ones, so your art was always great.
I'm not doing. Let's see. I want to say I've got 8 picked out. I've got my artist that I've given the prompt. I say the prompt. I'm giving it to a real guy.
Yeah.
But I don't know what tools he uses. But I go here, give me art for this, and I gave him I sat down and came up with all the scenes, and so I've got Bo-Katan, Cad Bane, Ezra.
Nice.
What other bases? What other ones are there? I think I'm going to do the armor. I had an idea for what I wanted the armor to be. Yep.
You've got armor, Fennec Shen, Balin Skull.
Are you doing Fennec? Are you doing Fennec too?
I am doing Fennec. I have a really cool idea for what the Fennec art should be.
You've got Balin and Thrawn. Then you've got
Balin. I'm doing Thrawn. I am not.
Okay, Jedi Luke from the throne room.
I am doing Jedi Luke from the throne room.
Okay, and then you have Sabine. You have Sloane and Gideon.
I'm not doing Sloane or Gideon or Sabine. I don't have them yet.
Ahsoka. You said you were doing Bo-Katan. Then you have Cad and Vane. Ezra.
What is this? Hang on. What does Ahsoka do? Like, what does her character in this do?
Gives +2 to something.
This is Ahsoka the White, right from the TV show. So she's when you flip her, she's a 5/6 with support, and on attack she gives a unit with less power than herself +2 for the phase.
I don't think I'm doing her. I am doing the tokens, though. I've got a cool idea for Mandalorian.
Mando tokens, okay.
The Mando tokens, I think, is super cool. I came up with this idea. Okay. It's going to be 4 pictures, so it's going to be 4 when you get it. It's going to be 4 tokens, and it's going to be they're all going to fit together like a puzzle, and they're going to fit like in a square of token in a square, and then the center of that picture is a single Jedi that we see the back of with his lightsaber extended, and then all the tokens are Mandalorians that are facing us and fighting the Jedi.
That's kind of cool.
So each token will be like a quarter of a Jedi, and then the Mandalorian that's fighting him.
I know you did an alt art for Grogu because we've already seen it.
Oh yeah, that one already too. Cool. Yeah,
you did the Grogu. Then you have Throne Room Palpatine, Shin Hati.
Nope.
Grief Karga. And then Mando is the last one. Red, white Mando.
I don't think I'm doing that. I think I picked out 8 or 9 to do, but I don't remember. I think that covers everything.
Cool.
But I'm super excited. Like the art that I've started getting back so far is really. I love the Cad Bane art. The Cad Bane art. Oh, I've gone back and done some other ones. That's why I feel like I've done more than others. So you've
gone back and done some older stuff.
Yeah, I've got JTL Vader coming. I did JTL Vader. I think that was really exciting.
Yes. Heck
so
yeah.
the art on the leader side of it is Vader standing in a hangar bay, like sending TIE fighters out to fight. And it's so cool. He's like pointing off in the distance and you see TIE fighters launching. It's really cool. And then I'm working on, I kind of wanted to do a Tobias one. So I sit down. So when I do these, I kind of figure out what the character does and what the card is describing. So like Tobias is describing, like, if you read his card as a story, that's my favorite thing about these cards is when you figure out what the story is telling and how it fits in their character. But like Tobias is like sending his guys out undercover to mess with their opponent. and like get the steals in. And then when you flip him over, he stabs them all in the back and they all die, and he gains profit off of it. So like that's what the art is. The leader art is Tobias sitting. He's like reading a map and he's sending a Rhodian off to like go do something. And then when you flip him over into the leader side, it's him kicked up with like stacks of money in front of him and like a grin on his face.
That's cool.
Nice.
So
I like it.
So I've got several of them to come in. So I'm having a ball. I love creating this stuff.
Sweet. All right, guys. Well, let's hang it up. It's been a full episode. We'll be back in a couple of weeks with some more SWU action. In the meantime, definitely throw us the like, follow, subscribe, whatever, rating over on your favorite podcast service. We appreciate you guys tuning in. And again, apologies about that little snafu for last episode. Thank you for you guys who went back and made the time to re-download that and get caught up again. Sorry, I'll make sure that doesn't happen again this time. So thanks for that. All right, guys, we'll see you in a couple of weeks. In the meantime, peace out. Enjoy your SWU. Catch you soon.